Hello, Howe Middle students. Welcome to our virtual Remembrance Day ceremony.
Today is our opportunity to acknowledge the Canadian Armed Forces veterans who have served around the world and sometimes died to protect the citizens of our country and of others.
Due to the COVID pandemic, we cannot gather in person to remember their sacrifices. So we have recorded videos of many of Howe's students who have honored those who have served. Today you will see these videos.
We would like to remind you that this is a very serious event, and we expect that students will act accordingly by staying quiet during the presentations and by withholding applause during the ceremony.
We will begin today's ceremony with our Aboriginal acknowledgement.
Swale. We acknowledge that Abbotsford School District is located on the traditional territory of the Stalo people, the Samath and Maxwee First Nation. With this, we respect the long-standing relationships that Indigenous nations have to this land, as they are the original caretakers.
We acknowledge the historical and ongoing injustice that Indigenous peoples endure in Canada. We accept the responsibility as a public educational institution to collaborate toward revealing and correcting miseducation, as well as renewing respectful relationships with Indigenous communities through our teachings and community engagement.
And now we ask that you please rise for the singing of our national anthem.
Canada's war veterans have sacrificed a lot so that we can enjoy peace. The grade 7 E-Pod are going to read a French poem that thanks our soldiers for their sacrifices.
Brave soldat, à la guerre, vous avez eu faim, vous avez eu chaud, pour la paix,
Brave soldat, à la guerre, vous avez eu faim, vous avez souffert, pour la paix.
Brave soldat, aujourd'hui, nous voulons vous dire, un merci.
In Flanders Fields was a poem written in 1915 by a Canadian soldier who wanted to honor those who died in World War I. Representatives from our grade 6 classes will now recite this poem.
In Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky, the larks so bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below.
We are the dead short days ago, we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields.
Take up the quarrel with the flow, to you be failing hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high. If you break, fate with us who die. We should not sleep though poppies grow in Flanders fields.
Last week, students from Pod F drew poppies inspired by the poem In Flanders Fields. Now you will see the poppies they created.
During the past week, you were asked to do research on a Canadian War veteran. For the next 5 minutes, we ask that a few students from your class present what they have learned about the veteran they researched.
Many of Canada's First Nation, Métis, and Inuit people have served in the Canadian Armed Forces to help protect our country. We will now learn more about sacrifices they made so that citizens of Canada can enjoy peace.
Today is a day to acknowledge all the men and women that left their communities, homes, and families to serve and protect our country during a time of war. They are all true heroes. The bravery, sacrifice, and skills of the First Nation, Métis, and Inuit people have truly benefited the outcome of each war. The Indigenous people were brought up living off the land, hunting and gathering. As a result, their quiet disposition, patience, and marksmanship were well-honored traits for soldiers to become snipers or scouts. Their unique language gave them opportunity to become code talkers, sending unbreakable messages. Please be grateful for everyone that served our country and made the ultimate sacrifice for us.
Howe's guitar ensemble will now perform See You Again.
Dang, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. They'll all be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger pictures. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling strong, and what's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken, the love will never get lost. And when brotherhood comes first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn, and that line is what we reach, so remember me when I'm gone.
Our grade 8s spent last week making wreaths for today's ceremony. We lay wreaths on Remembrance Day to honor and remember those who died in battle.
We will now watch our grade 8s perform a wreath-laying ceremony as we listen to a poem entitled Please Wear a Poppy.
Please wear a poppy, the old lady said, and held one forth, but I shook my head. Then I stopped and watched as she offered them there, and her face was old and lined with care. Yet beneath the scars the years had made, there remained a smile that refused to fade.
A boy came whistling down the street, bouncing along on his carefree feet. His smile was full of joy and fun. "Lady," he said, "can I have one?" As she pinned it on, I heard him say, "Why do we wear a poppy today?"
The lady smiled in her wistful way and answered, "This is Remembrance Day. The poppy there is a symbol for the gallant ones who died in the war. And because they did, you and I are free, and that's why we wear the poppy, you see."
I had a boy about your size, with golden hair and big blue eyes. He loved to play and jump and shout. Free as a bird, he would race about. As the years went by, he learned and grew, and became a man, as you will too.
But the war went on and he had to stay, and all I could do was wait and pray. His letters told of the dreadful plight. I can see it still in my dreams at night, with the tanks and guns and cruel barbed wire, and the mines and bullets, the bombs and fire.
Till at last, the war was won, and that's why we wear a poppy, son. The small boy turned as if to go, then said, "Thanks, lady, I'm glad to know. That sure did sound like an awful fight, but your son, did he came all right?"
A tear rolled down each faded cheek. She shook her head, but didn't speak. I slunk away in a sort of shame, and if you were me, you'd have done the same. For our thanks in giving is oft delayed, though our freedom was bought and thousands paid.
So, when we see a poppy worn, let us reflect on the burden borne by those who gave their very all when asked to answer their country's call, that we at home in peace might live, wear a poppy, remember and give.
We will now honor those who have served by standing for the last post, followed by a minute of silence.
Please stand now. You may be seated now.
We will end today's ceremony by reciting Canada's commitment to remember.
They were young, as we are young.
They served, giving freely of themselves.
To them we pledge, amid the winds of time,
to carry their torch and never forget.
We will remember them.
Thank you for watching today's ceremony.